Welcome to Engineers Academy. Subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to receive the notification for the upcoming videos. In this lesson we are going to learn for loop in MATLAB. So what is loop? So if you want to conduct some of the calculation or some instruction repeatedly, so then we will use loop in MATLAB. So if you people want to repeat some calculation again and again, so then you people can use loop in MATLAB. So then there are two loops in MATLAB. One is for loop and the other one is while loop. So in case of for loop one, we know the number of iterations, the number of repetition that we already know in case of for loop. But in case of while loop, we do not know the number of repetition. And when the statements are once executed, so then that is called one iteration or one pass. So if the number of passes is known so then we will use for loop. And if the number of passes or iterations are not known, so then we will use while loop. So in today's lesson, we will be going to discuss only the for loop. So this is the basic structure of for loop. So this is the basic syntax of for loop. So what we will do, we will write for and then we will write loop variable. We can write any variable. So that will be the loop variable, and there will be a spacing between for and loop variable. And then it will be equal to, that is the assignment operator, m, s and n. It is just like we have already learned in MATLAB that m will be the initial value, n will be the final value, and s will be the increment for m. And inside the for loop there will be some statement, some calculation if you want to do, and then there will be for each for loop, for each for there will be one end. So let's suppose if we have this program, so in this k is the loop variable, and 5 is the m value, 5 is the initial value of k, and then for after each pass the value of k will be incremented by 10. So s is 10, and this loop will do its calculation until the value of k increases than 35. So this is the flow chart of this for loop. So at the start, what this for loop will do is that it will set k equal to m. So in this case, k will be equal to 5. So when the loop starts, it sets k equals to 5 in this case. So then it will come here. So it will come here and then it will check if 5 is greater than 8 or not. The n in this case, this is n. So this is n, this is m, and this is s. So it will check if 5 is greater than 35. So no, it's false. So then it will come here. So it will come here and it will execute the statements. So what is the statement? The statement is x is equal to k to the power of 2. So it will take square of the k value. So it will store 5 square value. So the x will be 25 in this case. So it will store the 25 value in x, and then it will loop again. So this is the loop. So then what it will do, it will add increment k by s. So it will add 10 to 5. So it will add 10 to 5, and that will be the next k value. Right? So then for the next pass, the k value is 15. So then it will come here again, and then now it will check that if 15 is greater than 35, no, it's false. So then again it will come, and this time it will take the square of 15 value and it will store that value in x, and then again it will loop again, and this time this will be 15 plus 10. So this time the k value will be incremented and the new value of k will be 25. So here it will check again whether 25 is greater than 35. If it is false, so then it will execute again. This time it will take square of 25, and then again it will loop again. Right? So this time it will be 25 plus 10. So this time the k value will be 35. And here it will check if 35 is greater than 35. No. So then it's not greater than 35, it's equal to 35, so again it will be false, and then this x will be 35 squared, and then it will be looped again, and this time k value will be 35 plus 10, it will be 45, and this time 45 is greater than 35, so it will be true and it will terminate the looping. So this is the algorithm for this for loop. I hope you people would have understood until this point. So now let me run this program here on page. So let's discuss this on page. So let's suppose if I write pass k value and then x value. So this will be x value, right? So first, when it will enter the for loop, so it will set the value of k equal to m, that is 5, right? So then it will set this equals to 5, and then it will check if 5 is greater than 35 or not. So 5 is greater than 35, so it's not greater, so it will enter into the execution. So that will be pass number 1, right? So then what it will do, it will take square of k, so that will be stored in x, square of k, so this means this will be 25, right? So then after this execute, so then it will increment k by 10, so it will add 10 to this previous value of k, so this time it will be 15, and then it will check, the program will check if k is greater than 35, no, so then it will enter to pass number 2, then it will store the value of 15 squared in x, and then it will increment this k by 10, so it will add 10 to this 15, so this will be 25, will enter into pass number 3, will take square of this 25, will store this in x, and then what it will do, it will increment this previous value of k by 10, so then this is 35, will enter the fourth pass, will take square of this k value 35, will store that in x, and then this time it will increment 35, and this time it will be 45, and it will check if 45 is greater than 35, so it's true, so then it will terminate, and it will not enter the next for loop, so the passes will be ended, and in this program we have total 4 passes. So now let's run that program here in MATLAB. So I have written already that program, and here I have initiated the pass value. So I have initiated and given the pass as a 0 value, and now let's suppose I put a breakpoint here. What is a breakpoint here? So it's a breakpoint, so if you people want to stop your execution at some point, so you people can click in front of that instruction, so that will be set as a breakpoint. And then if you people run this as a section, so each time when it reaches this line, so it will stop. So if I run this section, so let's see. So if I run, so here I have written pass is 0, so when it enters the for loop, so then the pass is incremented by 1. So I have added 1 with the pass value. So initially the pass value is 0, so when it enters into the for loop, so the pass is incremented by 1. So here it is displayed pass number 1. How it is displayed? So we already know this f print f, so I have written pass number %d, and pass, whatever will be the value of pass, it will be printed in %d. So %d will be replaced by the pass value. So this line, when executed, it shows pass number 1. So when pass number 1, so then the k value is 5, and then when I step in again, so the x value is 25, right? So this is after pass number 1. So now if I step in again, so now let's see this arrow. So we are still inside the for loop, right? So if I step in, so it will print pass number 2, right? It is not showing this instruction because I have suppressed this using semicolon, so it will not be shown here in the command line. So now pass number 2, we are in pass number 2. So if I run, k is 15, so k square is 225, and then we will loop again. Pass will be 3, Again k is 25. 25 squared is stored in x. And again we are still in the loop, so we can see here. So then it will be pass number 4, right? K is 35 and x is 35 squared. And now see here, look at this green arrow. So now if I click on this, so it says that I have executed the for loop and now I am going to end this for loop. So if I run, so the program executes and it stops here. So this is the basic working of for loop. Now if I check the x value, so if I write x and enter, so then we see that only the 35 squared is saved in x. So now if you want to save all the squared value in x, so what we will do in this case? So let me modify this. So let's suppose if I write, now this time I will write k, I will copy this line, right, and this time I will write another variable for loop. So I will write t is equal to 1 until length of k, right, and this time it is pass and I will write t value. I will print t value as well so that you people should know. And then here I will write k of t so that you people should know. And here I will write x of t and I will write k of t whole square. Now let me run this. So if I run this, so here we see that in k 5, 15, 25 and 35 have been stored, and now we are in pass number 1. So we are here. So if I run, if I step in, so t value is 1. So now the t value is 1, and here we can see that t values will be from 1 until the length of k. So what is the length of k? The length of k is 4. So this loop will execute 4 times. So when t reaches 4, so it will stop, right? So t is equal to 1. Now we are here. So k of 1. So k of 1, this is k of 1. So k of 1 is 5 value. So if I step in, so k of 1 is 5 value, right? And now here it will be x of 1 equals to k of 1 square. So let's see if I run this. So it is x equals to 25. So now this time it's scalar. So in pass number 1, x has only one value, and that is the first value of x, and that is 25. That is the squared of k of 1. So k of 1 is 5, right? So now if I step in again, so now we are in pass number 2. So it will print pass number 2. This time the t value will be incremented by 1. We haven't entered some increment, so it will be incremented by 1. By default MATLAB knows. So it will be incremented by 1. So this time the t value is 2. And if I run this, so this time k of t. So k of t is what? K of t is the second value of k. So k of t. So now the t value in pass number 2 is 2. So it is k of 2. So k of 2. It means that the second element of k. So that is 15. And this will, now if this line executes, so this will have x of 2. This means that the second element of x will be equal to the square of second element of k. So let's see. So now we have added another value to the previous value of x. So this is x of 2, that is equal to the k of 2 squared. So k of 2 squared, 15 squared is 225. So now we are storing each and every value of k squared in x. So now if I step in again, so now we are here in pass number 3. So this will print pass number 3. T will be equal to 3. K of 3 is 25. So it will give an answer of 25, right? And this time the third value of x will be stored in x, and that will be k of 3 whole squared, and this will be x of 3. So if I step in, so we see that now we added third value to the x row vector. So we are generating row vector x, right? So now if I run this again, so we are in pass number 4. So it will print pass number 4. t value 4 and k of 4. So k of 4 is the last value, and the last value is what? 35. So answer is 35. And then we see that we are in the fourth column, and that is the square root of 35, right? And this time after this it will end. We see the arrow direction changes and the for loop ends, and if we step in, so it will stop execution. So now if we enter x, so now this time if I enter x, so we have 4 values in x, that is 25, 225, 625 and 1225. And let's suppose after end I write this. Let's suppose I write x is equal to, and I write k semicolon x. So what it will do? So it will add k to the first row of x, and x will be the second row of x. So let's run this again. Let me remove this breakpoint and let me suppress all these now. So I do not need these. Now we understood this. So now if I suppress this and I suppress this, we will comment this time. So if I comment this and if I run again, so now we see that the result is that we have all those k values as the first row of x and the square root of k values as the second row of x. So this is the working of for loop, and you people would have understood this.